Alright guys, back in another video, and this time we're going to be doing a deck profile on the deck I've been really excited to play, and it is reminiscent of the old yellow swap I used to play, but this time it's Broly swap with the red Broly leader and actual Broly chain instead of Goku's lineage. If you don't know what the leader does, he can take a life, gain critical. That's not that relevant unless you're going second, and then he has another ability where you can only use it once per game, and you grab a red extra card that costs 1 from your deck, and I'll get into detail about how that works. This leader is really fantastic, and it works well with the strategy. When he awakens at 4 less life, you untap 2, and they go into a monster here. This guy gains critical if you have a Broly BR on board, and then he also has attack, gain 5,000 power, and draw a card. And then he also has the ability to save the chain, but I'll go into detail about that, how that works later. This card's really good. So Planet Vampa, this is the target you want. There's only 2 copies. This card is just fantastic. Take a life to activate its ability, look at the top 7, and then you grab a power of 5,000 or less Broly BR, Paragus, or Golemite, or Ba. And it's pretty good, but typically you want to hit this guy right here. And sometimes hitting Paragus is fine too because you need to see your Unison, but we'll go ahead and get into detail. But this guy is the Permo. Got 4 copies of this. I got really lucky and pulled 1, traded for 1, and yeah, my buddy hooked me up, so I got 4 total. This guy, he's a money card, but don't be too discouraged. If you don't have like a lot of these, you can still play this deck. You just need to have like at least 1 searchable copy. I would say minimum would want to play 2, because what if it was 1's in real life, but 4 is really clean because you want to hit it off this, and then it makes your turns way smoother. When you play this card, you take a life, send it to your drop area, so critical your own self, and then you play a Ba from your deck, and then Ba gets his ability. He also has swap 3 for free, but the swap targets all have the ability with a little 1-drops do. You can't play another copy for the turn, so you can't play more than 1 per turn, so you still play another target for swap 3. So you play 4 Ba. This is a card I'm back and forth playing 3 or 4, but I do want to have this. Blocker is really important, and he searches out any piece whenever he's played, so you play this for 1, or you play it from the top 7, and then you get this guy out and you discard a card, because Planet Vampa says if you grab something from the top of your deck, you discard a card. So this guy gets the card back to your hand, and this comes on board, and the swaps goes up back to your hand, so you don't lose anything. You're just gaining positive other than losing a life. And this guy is a blocker, and he adds any 5 or less Broly BR red, so he helps you grab your chain pieces that you're missing. Then you have the other 1-drop. I had 4 in here, but now I'm going back to 3. This guy, he gains 11k. We have another Broly BR on board, so pretty good. And he swaps for 3. I swaps to a 3-drop for free. This is the card you want to wait to use your swap abilities for before you start swapping. This one makes the deck like kind of overpowered. It's a Unison, so you get the Unison cool cards to go with it. This card in general just gains markers every time you swap, and the swap cards themselves give it markers. I'll get into detail about that in a second. And when it's played, you look at the top 3 and you grab any red Saiyan, which is pretty cool. And you grab your super combo or your SCR or any of the cards almost, for the most part. But this card is really good. And it has a -7 ability. Let me read this out loud. Activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards, and it gains -15,000 for the turn. So even this little guy becomes a threat to your leader, your opponent's leader. And then you choose up to 1 mono red battle card with the energy cost 5 or less with swap and from your hand and play it. So this just helps you grow up the chain again. Now if you have this plus a secret rare and the full chain, you'll go up into another 6. So that's pretty neat. And that's usually going to end the game. Since we're playing a Unison and we really want to see our Unison, we have some defense for our, like just having a Unison on board. 2 Wolfang Fist and 2 Yamcha. I'm not exactly sure on this, but this is searchable off your leader if you draw Planet Vampa on your opening hand. So this right here is just a really good card. I do not have my Violent Rage there on the mail. I'm not sure which one is going to be taking slots in the main. I might go 1 and 1. I'm not sure yet. This is a really good card, so it's either this is going to go on the side or vice versa for the Violent Race. And then Yamcha counterplay for free if you have a Unison with 2 or more, and then you get to hit 2 things for -15k. Really good defense since you're tapping out on your turn 2 for the most part. Your super combo is searchable off of your unison, which is pretty neat. Yeah, just the new super combos. Take a card, put it on your bottom deck, draw 2. Really good. Now to your swap chain. Your 3-cost guy, he's the one you swap for free into it. And then he has an auto if you have a Paragus in your hand, which is this guy. You play him, and then Paragus will get his ability. Paragus is an Overlord, and then he looks at the top 5 and grabs any Broly BR card or a 1-cost Unison, so it can help dig for your Unison card, and that's very important if you hit this off of your planet on turn 1 or 2. If you don't have a Unison, this is a good way to try to find it. But this guy also has Servant, and this gives him 10k boost permanently, but he can't restand, but that doesn't matter because you're going to swap him back out. And so he's a 19k for free, like a 1 cost. You swap into it, and then you swap for 4 for 1 cost red. And this guy has Overlord, which I'm not sure if that really matters that much. The unique part is what holds him back a little bit from being like a really good card. Broly, Power of the Great Ape. This is your 4 cost. Okay, when you swap into this guy, you give your Unison a marker, and your opponent takes a card from their hand and warps it, and they don't get it back until the end of the next turn. So it's a 14 hit, but you don't get to look at their hand. And yeah, so really good. 20k Servant, and then you swap out for 1. This all have. If you guys want to go into how it works, I'll show you. Got Critical guy you swap into for 1, and then he swaps into 6 for 1 energy as well. 30k crit, and he gives your your Unison a marker and does the same thing as the 4, which is really good. So you take a card in your opponent's hand, warp it into the inner opponent's turn, so you get a 14 hit. And then if you go into this one in the same turn, they take 3 cards for their hand. Let me read this again. Yeah. Then choose up to 3 cards in your opponent's hand, send them to the opponent's warp, and then they don't get it back until the end of the next turn. He has Critical and Double Strike, and a unique, which I wish this guy didn't have unique. And you choose one of your Unisons and gain 2 markers, so you can go up to 7 really quickly with KO, and the Unison that is. And this is like your boss card. But this guy is how we really like. This guy ends the game sometimes, but this guy really ends the game. You play this for free. It's an ultimate barrier, double strike. Activate main, you kill this off, play him, and your opponent's combo cards, 5k or less, are 0. And yeah, this guy is just insane. Let me read it again. All cards in your bonus leader area, battle area, and combo area get minus 5,000. So if you do your KO ultimate plus this, your leader is at negative 5k, and all their combo cards are irrelevant. So, boom, free game. This ends the game pretty easily. So you don't have much room for techs in this deck, so it's not really a tech card. Your leader is crit, so this guy is double strike for free. Come out, and he's just a good card, and he is unique. And then you have your overwhelm choice, double strike crit. This goes along with the theme, critical and double strike, and it's like a free further destruction Champa you can play for overwhelm in the turn 3. Usually on turn 3 is whenever this guy will come out if you see it. And then you have your actual Champa effect. Just in general, this puts your leader. Sometimes your chain doesn't go up all the way to 6 and it doesn't end the game. So you do like that crit, 20k, double strike crit. Pretty good. Now let's go ahead and show how the chain works, because that's kind of important. I'll just pull one of each card that's relevant and pull it out. For the chain, that is. So how a turn would normally look. I'm not going to show you all the cards in my hand. I'm going to show you exactly what you do to get up your chain. It's pretty simple, but the lines of play you can take are pretty interesting. So if you guys want to have another video about that, please smash that like button, and we'll see what we can do. So on your turn 1, you activate your leader's ability, get Planet Vampa. You're going to play Planet Vampa, look at the top, and hopefully you see this guy. This guy will take a life and crit it, and then you're going to play Ba. Ba is going to get you whatever piece you're missing. Just to say that we're missing the 3-drop. Next turn comes around, charge your second energy. You're going to want to sequence this well. So we're going to, and say we have KO. we're going to play Kale, or we can do Planet Vampa first. Let's say we're going to do it without worrying about Kale. We're just going to play Kale. Get your top 3 search. Say we grab this or this. Because that's the cards that are not searchable. And then, so we swap. Go into the 3. This goes back to your hand. This guy will make you play Paragus from your hand, if you have it. It doesn't really matter if you do, but it helps if you hit and see it off of this. And then this will trigger and get you something. Usually it'll be a piece. So say we got the other piece we're missing. Attack. This guy will do damage. Swap. Because currently we have 1 more energy open because we only used 1 this turn. Swap into the 4. Now your leader currently, since you Planet Vampa took a life, critted yourself, use Planet Vampa again, and yeah, so 1, 2, 3. You're gonna take your 4th life and awaken. Let's give this a marker. So you're currently at 1 marker for swapping, 2 marker for swapping. This gives it another marker, and yeah. So this goes out of your hand. Attack 20k. Pay another red because you have another red energy open. Go into your 5. Give this a marker. Give this a marker. Take a card out of their hand. Swing 30k crit. Pay 1 because you have 1 more energy open. Put this in your hand. Play your 6. Now this is all saying that you have all the cards you need. Not always will you go into this on turn. It's good turn 2. Mainly you only get this off on turn 2 if you hit your promo off. I'm sorry, your promo off your Planet Vampa on turn 1. Typically, that is not always the case. So if you do open this and you have to pay energy for it on turn 2, you'll only be able to get to your 5. This gives it 2 markers of this, and then swapping into this gives another marker. So I think you're at 7 markers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to go back and count that out. Take 3 cards of your opponent's hand. Swing double strike crit. If you have the secret rare Broly, send this to drop. And then Big Boy is on board on turn 2. And this is without swinging with your leader for crit. Or you haven't even done all that yet. That's if you had everything you possibly could imagine in your opening hand. Now this guy, he is more important in the grind game when you are just wanting 15k swings. And dormant potential is something that does hurt whenever you don't play around it. So be careful. This guy, like say if you have it, you can combo it off. But usually they're going to negate your first attack if they can with the dormant potential. But since it's so fast, dormant potential isn't a viable card that early on in most cases, unless they go first and stick a unison with 2 markers, or 2 costs that is. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and if you guys want to see more combo singles and actually opening test hands, because when I tested this deck, I feel like if you don't sequence correctly, you will end up in a worse position than you would be if you sequence properly. But if you guys have any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.